Greetings. This is a video that shows how to create a Netbeans project. We'll do the classic simplest program, which is called Hello World, although I'm going to do Hello Nurse. Wonder how many people get the reference there from nurse. Okay, so I'm going to open Netbeans. If you're in the lab, you can go to the menu and do this. I'm going to the desktop icon here, my workstation in my office. There we go. NetBeans is a full-featured integrative development environment, which is called an IDE for short. It's similar to tools like Visual Studio. And another common IDE for Java development is Eclipse. And some of the videos that you'll find from Linda and other sources will use Eclipse. So really, Eclipse and NetBeans are the two major development environments for Java programming. So although we're going to do the Hello World program here, really the more important thing is learn how to use NetBeans to set up projects. This will take a minute to load. It's been a little while since I've run it, and I think I have a new version here. So it usually runs a little bit quicker than this. All right. Anytime now. Later on, once you're really good with this, I'll probably just start doing the video and I'll have the project open already. But today I wanted to show you right from the start how to create the project in its entirety and how to open NetBeans. And I'll do that for the first couple of videos here just to reinforce that. Eventually you'll get really good at it. You won't have any trouble remembering. It's not really anything that you have to memorize. It's something you just learn by doing. Okay, this is what it looks like. I actually have a project here that I did previously. I'm going to go ahead and close that because you won't see that normally. But if you did have a project in here, then it would show up. And it can get very confusing. Like right now, you can see that I have these files that are open from my previous project. And so I'm going to close those. You wouldn't have to do this normally. Okay, so this is what we're going to see. Okay, we're going to go to File, and we want to create a new project. Come on down here, and we'll choose Java. And generally, we're going to want a Java application. So we'll click Next. And now we have some options here. So the first option is where to put this. I recommend that you either work off of a flash drive, which is really cheap. $8 flash drive will have enough storage on it for everything you're going to do in a given semester. Or you work on the UC file space mounted drive in the lab. But the main thing is you got to keep your code. Make sure you keep track of your code. Don't put it on the C drive in the lab, because then you walk away, it'll be gone. Okay, so this is where I normally work on my workstation, so I'm going to leave that. Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to change this. I'm going to put the videos that I make for this class in a special place. So I'm going to go to my desktop, go to my Google Drive, and then I have CP1 working, and then Intro to NetBeans is this presentation. So I'm going to create this here. I'll say open. And so now notice that it's picked up that drive. This is the name of my project. That's going to be the name of a new folder that NetBeans creates too. So this will be NetBeans intro. And it's okay to put a space in the name of the project. I'm just doing that here for simplicity for me when I put it on the web. Okay, now this is important. You want to uncheck this. We don't want a main class. That's a sort of helpful thing that NetBeans offers to do that really just screws things up. Okay, I'm going to hit finish. Now if I come over here, here's my project, NetBeans intro. I have source packages and libraries. I won't have to do much with the library, so we won't look at that. And then here in the default package, I want to right click, and now I'm going to create my new file. So this is going to be a Java main class. We'll click on that, and we'll have to give that a name. And usually when I have a simple project, I'll give the main class the same name. Whoops, sorry. Uh, the same name as the project. So this is going to be Netbeans intro, and it will actually create a file called netbeansintro.java. Now notice here it's warning me not to create the file in the default package, which is what I did. That's perfectly okay. That makes a lot of sense if you have a real complicated program with dozens of classes. But for quite a while, our programs will simply have a single Java file, and then they'll grow and we might have two or three. But we really won't need to create a package at this level. So don't create a package. Create your files in the default package. All right, I'll click Finish. And here we go. So you can see netbeansintro.java. It created this file for me. And then you can see over here the same file which is selected in my project. So now let's just take a look at our code here. So we start with a comment block, and the first comment block is right here. So it says /star to // That's an opening and closing comments. That means this whole block is a comment. That's got some information about using the tool. You don't necessarily need to leave that in, so we could just go ahead and delete that. And then notice this other comment block here. It begins with /*, 2 stars. That's a Java comment block. That's important. We want to keep that. And also you can see the @author wolft, which is my username. I could change that and put in my regular name. And I could also add my email. Whoops. Okay. So you want to put that in the top of each of your files. You can also put description here of what you're doing. So a simple hello nurse program. All right. Now normally, of course, I would have named this something other than NetBeans intro, along the lines of what the program does. So I probably would have called it hello nurse. But I'm calling this NetBeans intro because its principal purpose is going to be to show you how to use NetBeans. Okay. By the time you see this, we'll have done some pseudocode and some flowcharts, and we're just starting the code. So you might remember that a refinement to both of those was that we added the class and the end class. Well, in Java, a block begins with what's known as a curly brace. This is an opening curly brace. Notice how the tool has highlighted the equivalent closing curly brace here. So this is my class, and this is the equivalent in my source code of the end class. Excuse me, not my source code. In my pseudocode, the end class. All right. Similarly, in our pseudocode and our flowcharts, we had a main and an end main. And so this is the block that goes with main, and this is the equivalent of the end main here. So end main. Let me just make that end main. Okay? And then notice we have a comment here to do code application logic here. So there's kind of a helpful hint here. All of our code, until we start to use methods later on, will be in the main block. All right? Now, generally you want to let the tool do the indenting for you here, okay? So all this should be nicely indented. I prefer this style where the two blocks are right above one another. The alternative is the default style, where the first block marker, the curly brace, is here, and the matching curly brace matches this. Notice how the indentation works. So the entire class is right there. Within the class, this main method is right here. Okay? All right, so this is a real simple method program, and basically it's just going to print something out. And so our pseudocode would be output hello nurse. And then, of course, I'd have the other pseudocode, which is now represented by the Java structure, right? So I'd have a main, end main, and then outside of that, I'd have the class and the end class. And that's now taken up by the Java. So we won't copy that pseudocode into our programs. The logic from our main and end main and our pseudocode will go in here, and then we'll do the code. So the way to do output in, oh, notice that I have helpo, is to use system.out.println. So I'll start typing system.out, and notice the IntelliSense pops up, and it will let me choose these options here. So I want system.out.println. And let me try that again. It's not working very well here. There we go. So system.out.println, and then this is going to be hello nurse. Okay. And then I need a semicolon at the end of the line. And it looks pretty good. I don't have any red code here or anything. So I think we're in pretty good shape. I've written my program. It looks like it's all right. And so now I can run the program. So there's a couple ways of doing that. One is to come over here, right click on the program file and say run file. And when I do that, the output window pops up, and here you can see hello nurse. And you can also see build successful. That means it compiled and ran my program successfully. And then it gives me the total time. And here this was so quick, it says 0 seconds. So it took some milliseconds to run. Okay? Let's go ahead and close that up. So we get our editing window. And by the way, once you get the project made, you can go ahead and adjust this too. So you have more screen space. You can go up here and close it all together. So let me do that for you, because this will be easier to see then. Okay, so system.out.println, that's my first program. It prints out hello nurse. Now I can do other things here. So I can print numbers and things like that. And I guess really maybe I should do that in the next video. So I'll keep this real simple. Let me just review how I created the project. So I went here, File, New Project, Java, Java Application. Then I give it the project name. I pick where it's want to go. I turn off this create main class because I'm never going to want to use that. Then I hit finish. That creates the project. Once my project is created, let me bring this back over here. I go to the default package. I right click, say new, and I want Java main class. One thing I forgot to mention is this is adaptive. So it might not show the Java main class. If it doesn't, you go down here to Other, you pick Java again, and now you see all the options for Java projects, and the Java main class is right there. So you might have to go there. Now the interesting thing is, like I said, this is adaptive, so once you do that, it'll remember the next time. Now if you're in the lab, it might not remember your settings. But this is free and you can download it, and you probably are going to want to have it on your own computer, either on your laptop or your computer at home. Okay, again, I can run the file. I click on the file, right click, run the file. I can also use the green arrow button up here, and it'll ask me which class to run. So Netbeans intro, and again, I'll hit OK. And there you go. You can see the Hello Nurse that I spelled out. And then finally, I can actually go up here to the Run menu, and I can run the project then. After you run the project the first time, it doesn't prompt you. It just assumes you want to keep running the same project until you change it. So that's kind of a good thing here. So you only have to tell it the first time what you want to run. Okay, there we go. We've got a video on how to use NetBeans, create a project, and run the fabulous Hello World, or in our case, Hello Nurse program. So I hope this is helpful for you.